What's going on, people? Another day. Uh, I think by now you guys have been aware. I think by now you guys have seen it. What we're going to talk about today, uh, the, the the debate between Joe Biden and former President Trump. Uh, I'm sure a lot of other people have made some videos on it by now, but you haven't heard what I had to say. I understand I am not necessarily a super political person. I usually don't even pay attention to it. But we are in a point in time where the politics surrounding our presidency has become sheer entertainment. It hasn't been this entertaining since hold on, I'm fucking up his name. Since Trump has been in office. You know, I remember when I remember I voted for Barack Obama. I was there. I was in the ballots. I slit my little, you know what I mean, punched my hole. After that, I kind of stopped giving a fuck. After I knew he was out and Trump was in, I was like, I remember where I was standing when when the moment happened that he was voted in. I remember I was at work at a hospital and I was watching it on the TV and I was like, damn son, it's a wrap. I don't know what's about to happen. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a recipient of those what was it, $1,400 checks. You know what I mean? The stimulus package. I was a recipient. I think I got about two of those and stuff like that before he left out. I ain't gonna lie, I appreciated that. You know what I mean? It went to bills and whatnot, but I appreciated it. You know? But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I remember Biden got in office and, you know, I remember where I was standing when the announcement happened. I was in Atlanta, Georgia. I had helped my cousin move, you know, and it was a big deal, you know. I also remember how it was when Trump was president. How proud and riotous some of the white people were. how bold they were. I remember it was like I was in Atlanta. I remember I was leaving her apartment, my cousin's apartment, and a random black lady had told me, hey, okay, you leaving? All right, be careful because there's a Klan rally down the street. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Just out in broad daylight? That's how they do it in the South? Push forward. I remember, yeah, Biden had got not awarded presidency, but he won the presidency. And I remember me and my brother were talking about it. Like, yeah, he was saying, it might. What if all this was just, you know what I mean? Like he was the face, right? What if Biden was the face? He gets elected, and then he has a press conference shortly after. Like, all right, y'all, I know I'm about to die, so I'm gonna go ahead and hand this off to Kamala. I hand this off to Kamala. And, you know what I mean? She going to be our president. You know, I remember we had a discussion about that. But ladies and gentlemen, I could sit here and talk. But what I'm here to do, people, I'm not here to get super political. I know that's the topic. I'm here to just talk to you about some of the funny moments that happened during this debate and just give a little reaction to it. You know, my apologies, I almost forgot. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm also joined in the studio by one half of the MVPs, the Swiss Army Knives, the man, the myth, the legend. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Blacksmith 24/7.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I got a little carried away, but I just wanted to give you all a little history before we get into it. But I think we don't need to string it along a little any further. I watched the whole debate. Myself and Blacksmith, we watched the whole debate. And them niggas got off topic like a mug, man. It wasn't. I don't want to ruin it. But I was listening attentively until this moment happened.
The $15 for a insulin shot as opposed to $400.
Yeah. I felt like Biden forgot to take his medicine. I felt like he forgot to take his medicine. Either that or they woke him up right before the debate started and was like, all right, go ahead, get out there. You know what to do. And just, he had to freaking adapt on the fly and shit like that. It was a couple moments. He had some old ass moments, man. He had some grandfather moments, man. Happened more than once. Okay. Happened more than once, man. As you see, Trump let him have that one. He was patient. He didn't call him out on it right out the gate. But I've heard things, right? I've heard things. I don't mean to be screaming. I'm sorry. I've heard things over the years, over these 4 years that, you know, that's not really him, bro. You know what I mean? That Biden ain't really in there. He you know what I mean? My barber told me, yeah, that nigga dead. They got a robot. They put a robot and they put his face on it, and that's who our president is right now. You know what I mean? They hit a button, he say something. You know, that's what I was told. I'm sorry, bro. Can you say that this is not a freaking robot? Let's show the clip. Let's show the next clip.
Eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with.
Nigga, the robot is glitching. The robot is glitching, bro. You know what I mean? I was for him being in president, you know, being the president. I remember, what was it? No, I don't want to get confused. But I mean, damn, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I mess up my words and stuff. First time I gave it to him. I was like, all right, you know what I mean? He just woke up, you know what I mean? He started a little bit, you know what I mean? It happens. And I remember seeing, you know, years ago, you know, one of his like speeches where he was slurring on his words. And I mean, you know, him tripping up the steps to that flight, that's, you know what I mean? I don't know. You just chalk that up to the game. Hey, maybe his rhythm was off that day. But it was a couple times where this man, more than a couple times, where he was slurring over his speeches and I don't know, it was bad representation, bro. Like, you know, like he might be the first president to retire as president. This nigga might be the first one to be like, you know, I can't finish the rest of this term, nigga. I can't. I'm gonna go ahead and hand this over to Kamala Cameron. I don't know. Kamala Harris. That's her real name. All right. I don't know. It's been from a person who just, you know what I mean, pretty much pays attention to certain things, you know, like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like society wants you to be super aware, and I get it. I hear, you know, respectfully, I hear old heads saying you need to pay attention to the news. That way you know what's happening. But I also am aware that some of that is bullshit. Some of that news ain't necessarily real. Remember, some of it's meant to scare you. And we saw that during COVID. You know what I mean? We saw that during 19. We seen that, you know what I mean? Some of them stories was out of whack. You know, after COVID, I think I might have said it before on this podcast, they had the story about them bees that was coming, killer bees and whatnot. Turned out to be just another Wu-Tang album. We didn't know that. Just a little joke. But I don't know. I don't necessarily, I know I live in my own world. And, you know, I could admit that I could pay more attention. You know what I mean? I could know more. I think we all could know more. But sometimes I just chalk it up to bullshit. I just chalk it up to, all right, man, let me know when something important happened. Let me know when something super duper is happening. You know, I started to think that I might need to pay a little bit more attention when I went to the corner store, and I noticed that inflation was real. I knew that inflation had hit Syracuse, New York. Remember them little, I said this before, but them little Debbie cakes, they used to cost 50 cents in the 90s, a quarter in the 90s, 50 cents in the 2000s. Them junks are now $2 whole. $2 for what is it? Not a marshmallow, but a moon pie. You know what I mean? Or like a little Star Crunch. $2 man. That's inflation. Gas prices. I mean, we got used to it now. People was, man, I'll quit my job. I'll set this building on fire if gas go up to $2. Nigga, we want $2. We want $2 gas now. Nigga, it's normal for you to walk to a gas station, not walk, but go to a gas station and see $4 or $3.94 for pump 3. You know what I mean? Unless you got diesel, then that's something completely different. But I don't know. I might start paying a little bit more attention now. Because the way the rest of this debate went, I get it. I don't think everybody wants things to be better. That's for sure. We can all agree on that. We all want things to be better. We want gas to be $2. We want the Little Debbie pies to go back to $0.25. You know what I mean? We want taxes to be lower. You know what I mean? NIMO. We want, you know what I mean? Let shit go back to being affordable. You know what I mean? Fuck it, man. Let's just go to the next clip.
Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it.
Even he was getting tired of his shit. He let him have 2 mistakes. He was like, if he fuck up on his words again, I'm going to call him on it. And he did. Shit was interesting, though. It was funny. I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, damn, does he know what he's talking about? And then Trump said it. Now, I'm not saying automatically that makes me a Trump supporter. This nigga at least knew his lines. I'll say that. The nigga at least knew his lines. He showed up prepared. His hairpiece was fucked up, though. I don't know what was going on with his hairpiece. The shit was transparent right up here. You could see through. Just need to accept the baldness, bro. Just you know, grow a beard and, you know what I mean? Just let your hair go bald, Trump. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm learning. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I definitely feel like society wants you to be super aware of everything, and I just don't have a lot of time for bullshit, man. I don't have a lot. I don't want to be putting a lot of energy into things that don't matter. I do understand that, yes, you know, I think I learned around the time Barack Obama was becoming president that the president it's a figurehead. You know what I mean? Like, the people who really make the laws are Congress. You know, that's why he had to go to Congress to try to get laws passed and to get changes made. And, you know, we can go ahead and talk about that, but so I don't know. I don't necessarily put a whole bunch of weight into who the president is. However, Trump was getting a lot of stuff passed, whether it was beneficial for us or whether it wasn't. And I'm sure people will be in the comments like, man, Trump was the best president in the whole world. Well, that's your opinion. You know, I don't know, bro. I think I'm not trying to speak wildly, but I think fuck it, bro. I think if you don't care if the world ends, you'll probably vote for Trump. That's what I think on one side. Because, I mean, we're going to get into the photo that I saw that kind of that made me perk up. I saw a photo that made me want to pay a little bit more attention. And we're gonna get in that a little bit later. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to stay neutral during this discussion, during this reaction. I'm trying to stay neutral because I definitely think we should have a younger president. That's for sure. I think the nigga should be 45. You know what I mean? Like, we can't clone Obama, as far as I know. You know what I mean? I've heard some stories. Nigga, I don't want to say too much more about my barber. I don't want to get his phone tapped and whatnot, but this nigga tends to see, he comes off as if he knows a lot. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, shit got me a little interested, you know? I usually don't vote. I usually don't vote. I usually just sit on the sidelines. I'm like, you know, usually shit ain't really gonna change like that. But I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe it's time to start paying a little bit more attention. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to keep taking up too much time. Moving forward, they asked Trump a question about January 6th. A lot of people remember January 6th. That's when he held a rally. I think if it wasn't on January 6th, he held like a rally somewhere around that time. Told people show up to the Capitol, gave him a big old pep speech and whatnot. And then January 6th came. People showed up, and that nigga was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. He was in a bunker. I remember seeing some reels on Instagram where this nigga was in a bunker just watching the whole thing go down. Remember when people stormed the Capitol, shitting on Pelosi's desk and whatnot and turning stuff over? I remember seeing them in the hallway. I believe it was like some officers with like not riot shields, but they had, you know, they was ready. I think a woman got shot or some shit, wasn't it? I think she either got shot. I'm sorry to come off like I don't have all these facts, but I just remember these memories. Some people got hurt. You know what I mean? Shit got out of control. And some people got arrested. And some people, I know one person in particular, I believe he got like 6 years and stuff like that. Some people are getting, you know, pardoned and whatnot, but once again, they asked Trump about January 6th, and this was his response.
Lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
Don't call me an instigator, but that sounded like he was challenging Biden to a fair one. He said, you can't beat me. Straight up, nigga. You can't beat me head up. That's why he had to go behind my back and find these documents. But it was wild, though. One thing I noticed throughout this debate, these niggas was pretty much playing the blame game for the most part. Just going back and forth, blaming each other. Well, this nigga did something too. Don't just talk about me. You don't believe me? Let's go to Joe Biden's response to January 6th. He had a chance to respond. Let's take a look.
President Biden?
Look, he encouraged those folks to go up to Capitol Hill, number one. I sat in the dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and great patrons of America.
After that, nigga just started stuttering again. He couldn't keep the clip going. After that, nigga start fumbling over his words again. Somebody get Joe his medicine. This nigga a nap and his medicine, please. I don't know, bro. I get that Joe Biden, I mean, well, I'm trying not to say too much because I don't know how all this stuff works. I remember they taught us in school, but man, I was trying to get out of there. man, I was trying to just get my diploma and get the hell out of there. But I don't know, bro. I don't know. We couldn't get a replacement president or some shit. We couldn't get a swap, a trade or some junk. You know what I mean? Maybe get somebody from North Dakota or I don't know. North Dakota, what am I talking about? I don't know. It's making me want to pay a little bit more attention. So maybe it's a good thing in that regard, right? But I'd rather not just be fucking furious all the time. You know what I mean? I'd rather not, I don't know. Somewhere down the line, I heard a quote that says, too much knowledge could make a man insane. However, I get it. I get it. You should pay attention to what's going on in the world so you know what's happening. You should know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. You should know when the big old storm is coming. You should know this. You should know that. Nigga, I'm just trying to be a better person. I'm having a hard enough time trying to do that. But, hey, man, once again, it's making me want to pay a little bit more attention. And, sometimes I'll get these things in the mail. You know how you get those kind of postcards, about people who are running for offices around your area, your city, your state. And I always hold them sometimes. And I'm like, you know what? One day I'm going to read this. And I never do. But I should start reading that, Another thing that made me want to pay attention is when I saw a photo like this. These niggas are shaking hands, son. It's united. First off, nobody wants to fuck with China or Korea or anywhere around there. You know what I mean? I know it's typical. People talk about, oh, man, they all know karate. Ladies and gentlemen, any nigga that tells you that he's the creator of sandwiches is not to be fucked with. I watched the video where Kim Jong-un told his people that I'm the inventor of the Big Mac. That's not somebody you want to fuck with. This nigga rewrote history. What type of nigga tell you, no, I'm in control of whether or not the sky is blue? What type of nigga does that? That last part I made up, but I don't know. Russia and North Korea definitely made me want to learn more. I remember I read into somewhere down the line, I restarted my phone and I started getting notifications from it says headlines or whatever, and it tells me certain things that's going on, and it was something like some kind of conflict that came across my timeline between North Korea and South Korea. And it said he had a sister in South Korea who's running that. And I don't know, at least, shit sounded sympathetic. Sounded like she was the one that, like she was the friendlier Jong-un or whatever. But I don't know. I just know those are two niggas you don't want to fuck with. Now they're shaking hands. And I remember reading some headlines where Putin was saying, we're not necessarily looking for war, but if you coming at us, we ain't gonna stop it. So personally, I don't want to be freaking going to war. I want to. I get it. Some people play Modern Warfare all day long. Those people probably want war to happen. They probably feel like they got the skill sets, the artillery, but I don't know. It's a little eye opening. But hey, then again, maybe I could be wrong, right? Maybe they do a lot of charity in their side of town, and maybe it's just bad publicity. But I don't know. When I seen them niggas shaking hands, I'm like, all right, hold up. Let me turn the channel on real quick. Let me see what's going on. see what Biden think about this. This nigga was taking a nap. It's probably somewhere taking a nap, man. And I respect the reporters, man. The reporters who were sitting there moderating the conversation, asking the questions. They tried their best. They wasn't trying to let not necessarily Joe Biden, but they was doing their best not to let Trump off the leash. I'm catching it, nigga. My president's stuttering, now I'm stuttering, nigga. I'm fucked up because I watched the clip. They did their best to keep these niggas on track, on topic. It's like, we gonna ask you again. This nigga kept dodging. You don't believe me? Check out this clip.
The question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Just to finish what he said, if I might, Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. He's not going to play games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me.
They asked this nigga, hey, man, what are you going to do about climate control? He's like, real quick, this nigga got dirty drawers in his closet. I just want to bring that up. Just want to make sure everybody knows it. He doesn't do his laundry. Very bad guy. Very bad guy. I'm not good at Trump impressions, but I'm just saying, this nigga was dodging them questions like bobs and weaves, man. Nigga's media trained, man. I don't know. It's going to be one or two. It's going to be one or two, man. I mean, once again, I'm not super political. I just thought some of this shit was funny. So I'm bringing it to you. You know, you don't have to comment if you don't want to. Any takeaways, anything you picked up on, Blacksmith, during watching that?
It was just entertaining. Some good entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, yeah, Biden is a little too old. I will say that.
They said you're gonna be 86 if you do your second term. Huh? Nigga, what can you do at 86, bro?
Yeah, and they said Trump gonna be 83 at the end at the end of the term. So yeah,
man,
both these niggas old, man.
Yeah, man. It's I wonder if Joe Biden can finish one of these. I wonder. I had this shit I had it all on all whites, but I had some kids around the house babysitting for family and all that. But I don't know. Maybe I heard The Rock might run for president. Like I heard that a couple of times. I seen him on a night show. Now I don't necessarily. I like The Rock. He's my favorite wrestler personally. You know what I mean? I don't know necessarily where he lands, if he's Republican, if he's, and some people, it seemed like once niggas get money, they be like, oh, I'm Republican. I was I was Democrat when I was poor, nigga, but I'm Republican now. Yeah, I mean, I've heard some things. Some people say, black people say, once you start learning more about the Constitution, you might become a Republican and all that. And maybe I need to look more into what those are, what the Democrats are, what the Republicans are, because I always grew up just knowing, all right, we vote Republican. You know what I mean? Because they're for the people. And then I've learned a lot of different things.
I think you said that backwards, bro.
Said it backwards?
You said you vote Republican because it's for the people.
Oh, my bad. No, I meant Democrat.
Said that backwards.
Thank you. I appreciate you cleaning that up. That's why you the MVP. That's yeah. Grew up voting Democrat because I was told that they are for the people. It's been interesting though. It's I don't want to go off track, but I remember it brings me back a memory of like being, I think in like, I was in 4th grade maybe. I think it was 4th grade. And I remember it was around 2001, and it was Bush versus Al Gore. That was the big presidency and stuff like that. That was the big, that was the big, that was the big, the two people who were going at it and stuff like that. And I remember being at school the day that 9/11 happened and stuff like that. And I just remember they were watching some stuff that came over the radio, and then they just sent us all home. And then I remember getting home and, seeing it on the TV and my mom crying and all that. And so I not for that very reason, but for other reasons that I said, I don't necessarily put a whole lot of weight into who the president is or, but once again, it makes me perk up a little bit. It makes me think, all right, hold up, maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention. I just, I don't know. I feel like we got enough problems in this world. I mean, of course, we all want things to be better. That's something we can definitely agree on. We all want things to be better. Once again, I just thought some of this shit was funny. I'm not trying to get super political. And once again, hey, if you want to, throw it in the comments. Who are you voting for? What are some moments that made you laugh? Who do you think would be an ideal president? You know what I mean? Maybe throw that in the comments. Let's get a discussion started. And yeah, man. I think I might pay a little bit more attention. I don't want to say that I am, and I'm not going to do it today. I'm not about to go home and read an article, but excuse me. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Because I know, we know that Trump has, I wouldn't say an alliance, but he has a relationship with Putin. On one side, I'm thinking, hey, maybe he could prevent a war. On the other side, I'm like, maybe this nigga might be like, you know what? Just give me a spot. Just save me and my family. You go ahead and take America. But that's the comical side of me. I don't know. Once again, hey, maybe I'll start paying a little bit more attention. Yeah, I know they said they got another debate that's supposed to happen between those two in September. So who knows? Maybe you'll see us making another reaction video. But I just thought this was funny. I thought, hey, man, come on here, have a little discussion, a little reaction to it, and see what the people think, man. Once again, any last remarks, Blacksmith?
No, just make sure, man, if you're over 18, make sure you go out and vote, man. If you're not registered to vote, go on and register. Make sure you go out and vote in November.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us. We hope that you are having a great day. Make sure, if you like this video, hit the like button. Also, go ahead and subscribe to C2C Indie Radio and click that notification bell so you can be notified every time we post a new video. And make sure, possibly, most importantly, make sure you share this video. There's anybody who could use a laugh, anybody who could use some education, or someone who could use some motivation. And give yourself a round of applause, too. Because at the end of the day, you just stepped outside the box. Peace.